this is a story we've been hearing about on the news this morning. A pair of Parti Québécois MNAs say that Hydro-Québec should refuse to give power to a controversial airfield in Neuville, a story we have been following on this show, of course, over the last few weeks and months. Agnès Maltais, the MNA for Tachereau riding, and Bernard Drainville, member for Marie-Victorin, say the government should order the utility not to connect the Neuville airport to the power grid. Bernard Drainville on the line with us right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
How can Hydro-Québec refuse power to someone?
Well, it should be the exception, but quite clearly, this project of an airport violates every Quebec law we have, and that should apply normally in these kind of circumstances. So the problem really is that the federal government doesn't want to resolve the problem. They have the power to do so. The Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs, Yvon Valliere, yesterday in the House was quite correct to say that when a promoter wants to install a tower for a telecommunications tower for cellular communications, for example, they need to respect a certain number of norms and regulations. They need to consult. But for an airport, based on a decision by the Supreme Court, the federal government doesn't have to do it. The promoter can just decide to build an airport wherever he wants, and there's absolutely no provincial or municipal regulations or laws that apply. Now, considering this kind of situation, we think that the Quebec government needs to give itself the bargaining power to oblige Ottawa to sit down and agree on some kind of framework. And if we need to say we're not going to provide electricity to this project until we get this kind of framework, then so be it.
So, I mean, on paper it sounds exaggerated to say, well, we'll not hook you up. But are you suggesting a kind of slowing of the process, a slowing of permits, and a kind of a throwing a bit of a wrench into the works so as to buy time?
No, we're suggesting they shouldn't be connected to the power grid until there is a framework that allows for the construction of airports on Quebec's territory.
Isn't that a bit of a dangerous precedent, though?
Well, yeah, but what else can we do? What else can we do? I mean, this is. Just imagine a situation where your house would be sitting in the, you would be in a position where you chose to live somewhere. You chose it because you like the quietness of it. You like the quality of life it provided to you. And you find out one day that they're going to build an airport on a field that is supposed to be reserved for agricultural needs, that's supposed to be protected by a Quebec law. You make your representations as a good citizen. Your city council says we don't want it. You find out all of your neighbors don't want it. There's some health hazards and concerns related to the project, and everything you put forward is being denied because there's a Supreme Court decision that says that whoever wants to set up an airport somewhere in Canada can do it without respecting any laws and regulations. Anything.
Is yours?
This is not, I question the democratic nature of this decision.
We saw
question the democratic foundations of this intention. So, considering the situation we're in, the situation is exceptional and it needs to be corrected by exceptional measures.
And your sense is that Denis Lebel could move ahead on this, given the Supreme Court. Well, I mean, we saw his response. It was a terse line at the end of a communique that said, "My job isn't to discourage the airline industry or the air industry from developing; it's to encourage."
Yeah.
Point final.
Exactly. He said there's no safety concern. My job is to encourage the aviation industry, so I'm not going to do anything about it. Come on! You know, come on.
You were at that demonstration on the weekend. A huge number of people turned out. What are you hearing from the mayor, from Mr. Gaudreau?
He's exceptionally firm. He's exceptionally firm, and I thought he was excellent. I thought he was the voice of his community. And I haven't read it, but apparently someone, maybe even Lebel or someone somewhere within the federal government, questioned his commitment to stopping the project or something. I haven't read it, so I should be careful. But I'll tell you, the mayor I saw on Saturday was extremely committed to stopping this project, and I had a clear sense that this man was speaking on behalf of his population, on behalf of his community. Yeah.
Do you have a sense that there is any opening at all here? I mean, Madame Matzé, were there. Denis Coderre was on hand as well.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem, Susan. Because you ask a good question. You know, you ask a good question. How far do we go? But I'll tell you, you go as far as you need to go to get the attention of someone who can correct the problem. Because I tell you, today is Neuville. Tomorrow is going to be where? And if this goes for aviation, God knows. You know how far this is going to go. Next time it's going to be what, a railway? No, this isn't the way it's supposed to work. I mean, at the very least, this minister, Lebel, has to give us, you know, a responsible answer. He has to pay attention to what the citizens want. And, you know, you can't govern a country the way you would govern it 100 years ago. It's another example of the single-mindedness and the very close-minded nature of this Harper government. Because they got a majority, they seem to feel entitled to govern without the citizenry.
What about the Charest government? What about Quebec? If they don't accept the hydro option, is there a possibility, do you think, of negotiation here? Is there power that can be brought to the table to try to change this the course of things?
You know, no, well, they're weak in every situation where they need to give themselves some kind of bargaining power, some kind of bargaining position in relations to the feds. They're either late in the game or they're very weak.
But if it isn't the hydro leverage, is there any other leverage?
Well, let the government answer that question. Ask one of these ministers. There were 4 of them signing a letter that was sent to Lebel precisely. Try to get one of them on your air and ask them, what are they going to do? Why is it that it's the opposition again that needs to do the job? I mean, they're in power.
We have asked the question.
We're suggesting a solution or putting forward an idea at the very least. If they don't think this is the right idea, well, let them provide with another one. But they're claiming that they're fully on the side of the citizens. The M&A for Port-Neuf, Monsieur Matt, was giving this great speech on Saturday, saying I'm with you and we're going to fight it and blah blah blah. Well, for the third time, not the first, not the second, the third time yesterday, we proposed to the Liberals a motion which says, we should take all means to stop this project, and for the third time, they refuse to support it. Now, what kind of sincerity, what kind of real commitment is there?
Well, we've invited the ministers in question, the signatories on that letter, to come on the program, and we will continue to do so. We thank you for your time this morning, Mr. Drainville.
Thank you, Madame.
Merci. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.